Hi, everybody. Hi. Hey, do you guys have your lunch yet? Okay, I hope you guys did. So I'm Pinky. I'm actually from Facebook. I'm a Malaysian, but I'm actually based in Facebook APAC HQ in Singapore, right? So today we're going to talk a lot about Facebook full funnel marketing for e-commerce. I mean, that's the workshop itself, right? Maybe what I can understand is how many of you guys here have an e-commerce store? Can I see a show of hand? Okay, like quite a lot. How many are inspired to create an e-commerce store after this? You know, that's it. Okay, one of you. Great. So I'm not sure where is everyone else from. If you can just shout out where you're from, I would like to know. I see some of the guys there just now didn't raise their hand. Are you guys from another brand, products? You guys started an e-commerce store? Okay. So how many of you guys here have run Facebook ads for your e-com store? Can I see? Okay, quite many of you, right? Yeah, so what I want to talk about today is about how you look into the whole full funnel marketing, right? I only have 30 minutes. This is just a little bit of the surface of what Facebook can do, or even Instagram. When I represent Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger, right? It's all under one same company. So I'm going to kick off by sharing with you what is some of the agenda. I'm just going to stand here closer, right? Yeah. So we want to talk a lot more about purchase funnel, right? We are not going to talk about anything like, share, engagement. Those doesn't give you sales, right? You have 1 million likes, that does not give you 1 million sales, right? So how do we actually encourage consumer to go down the funnel itself? And I also have a checklist, right? If anything, that is like some of the path of what you can do with your e-com store. Right, so some of the desired outcome today, really want to help you to understand what a Facebook solution can do. You know, the next thing is how do you go through the whole customer journey to also apply some of the campaign strategies. So this is quite a technical workshop. And the next one is assessment on some of the things that might be missing out, right? And what you can do after that. So I think when you look at it, this is the consumer path to purchase. All of us here shop every day, right? Buy something. Food, you know, things in shopping mall, online and everything. So a lot of times we have to think about awareness and then consideration. What does consideration mean? Everyone have a competitor, right? Is your option A or option B itself? And then people research, preference, they add to cart and purchase. But what we want to see is that, you know, we can simplify it to 4 ways, where is your awareness, demand generation, acquisition, and transaction. And the last part is loyalty. If someone have loyalty to your product, they will always come back and buy from you. I mean, we are not selling an iPhone, right? Even iPhone also, every 2 years you buy a new iPhone, right? How do you build the loyalty to get people keep coming back to buy from you? So the way I will explain a little bit more on full funnel, I'll focus a lot on thinking about video view campaign, because that will help you on awareness level. Then doing website conversion. What does that mean? That means that helping people to convert on your website, right? And the last one, how do you do remarketing? Anyone here shop before on Lazada and Zalora? You were browsing, didn't buy it, go back to Facebook, you saw the similar products, right? So those are some examples of remarketing itself. Yeah. So one thing I want to share, how many of you guys here actually runs the campaign day to day, or you get someone else to do it for you? Can I see a show of hand? Okay, so you guys will know what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you some of the things inside Facebook Ads Manager. So if you have run a campaign, do your Ads Manager look like this? Right? Pretty much, right? It's pretty complicated. It's like, oh, I don't know which campaign. I need to turn it off, turn it on. Right? So what we want to suggest is it should look simple. It should look like your marketing funnel. If it looks anything too complicated, you will just miss out on something. You'll spend money on something that's not right or get it wasted. So we think about it. Step 1 is to get awareness. What is step 2? To drive website conversion or website traffic itself. What is step 3? Remarketing. What is step 4? If you have a lot of products on your website, how do you do a dynamic product remarketing? So I'll use Lazada as an example. They have thousands and thousands of products. So, you know, once you actually like a certain product category or view certain product category, we can remarket you to that, right? And then how you build on retargeting and loyalty building. That's the part where a lot of people forget to do or didn't do really well, right? Because anyone who buy from you before will definitely usually, if they have good experience, they will come back. Right. So I want to talk a little bit more about the consumer journey. The first part is how do you have a video, right, of your product? I'm not asking about a 30-second long TVC commercial, but as simple as using your iPhone, like your phone, how do you capture a short video of 5 seconds? All of us here use Instagram, right? Instagram story, you whip up your phone, take a video of your friend. Think about how do you do that for your product itself and try to create some video. Then step 2, how do you get acquisition, right? You need to look for people who are interested in your product, right? Whether it's driving them to your website to find out first. Dynamic product ads, I will go more into details about this, but if you have a catalog of 1,000 different products, then that's something that you can apply for it, right? Use that kind of feature. Then the next one is, how do you do remarketing on your website, right? So for an example, you are selling fashion. You sell clothes, you sell pants, you sell shoes, you sell t-shirt. If I come and view your clothes, you should remarket me to see your clothes or your new stuff, right? And things. Don't try to sell me different things that I might not be interested in unless you're trying to do upsell. All right. The next one is purchase, right? Like what I've put here is like, do you know what's the average time of people rebuying your product? Is it every time you have a new collection, or every time you restock, or they want to buy different color, right? Maybe sometimes it's like beauty product. After 1 month I finish, I want to repurchase it. Then you know when to target all these people again. Right? So that's another thing. And also, do you know the value of your customer? Are they a high-value customer who buy like 500 ringgit, or are they a customer who are very sensitive to discount, right? You want a high value, not someone who's just sensitive to discount. So there's also ways to attract this kind of customer. And if you know this customer is price sensitive, you should always get to them, right? And the last one, how do you build on loyalty? So I will go through each of this part just to give you guys an idea of what you can do and what we call a full funnel marketing for e-com, right? So again, we always suggest you to implement and test first. So you put a test budget, and then once you optimize, when we say optimize is what works the best, then you can scale it further, right? So that's just an idea on how you can work on it, right? So I'm gonna break down and talk about each of the column a little bit. So the first thing is video itself. So when you think about a video, if you can have, what I'm using here is fashion, right? And if you have a video, you want to target different people. Like if you can see here, the first ad set is expat. Maybe, expat have a lot more money to spend. Female fashion, you just want to target on female. Maybe this festival lover, you have a collection of clothes that suit festival lover. Gamers and then skaters itself, right? Depends on what the audience you want. And when you do different kind of targeting, it helps you to understand that you are trying to reach out to different people. If you have resources, it's good to have different creative. If you don't have different creative resources, then just try one, but at least you know from there which audiences actually like your video most. Maybe sometimes you think, I think actually female like to watch my video. But no, maybe it could be the gamers who actually also like your video, right? So it helps you to understand better who's watching your video, right? And the next thing is imagine after they watch your video, how do you drive them to your website also? Because essentially you have a website, you want someone to purchase something there, right? Wait, sorry, not working. Yeah, so I think there's a few ideas. Just think about targeting people who haven't been to your website before. That's very important. Don't always try to target the same people. If you're always targeting the 10 same people, you never have 10 customers, right? How to capture attention quickly. All of us have very short attention span here. Like we probably need, if I tell you everything, you just need to remember my last slide today, right? So we all have very short attention span. And the next thing is split test. Right? Split test, different objectives, split test, different creatives, split test, different target audience, because those things matter, right? We always assume this will work the best, but sometimes it might not be, right? Yeah, so how do you drive traffic, right? So I'm giving some really straightforward example here. It really also depends how creative you want to be. Ultimate goal is we do not want a lot of people to click. We want a lot of people to go through the checkout process. So there's a difference between clicking and also going through the checkout process, right? So what we do is that when you do run the video ad already, how do you add on a remarketing to those people who watch your video? Because Facebook can actually collect those audiences for you. Whoever who watched the video, you can remarket them to your website, right? So for an example, I watch your video, I watch almost all of the video. It means that I have strong intention to learn about your products. I might not click to your website directly. I need to learn about the product first, right? Then I will actually go to your website later. So if I watch your video, you can retarget me on that sense, right? So there's ways that you can retarget people who haven't been to your website, right? And then you can also additionally create new interest targeting to target people to your website, those who never watched video before. Then you can see, does people watch your video converts better than those who never watch your video? Ah, hi, you can have a sit. Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways to play with it, but this is an idea how. That's the second step, right? Yeah, so when we think about the next step, so imagine someone come to your website. How do you get them to do remarketing, right? Because end goal is to get someone to spend money on your website, right? Yeah, so this is, I'm sure you guys, if you guys are familiar with analytics, you know where I got this analytics from. It's from Google Analytics, right? I mean, everyone have to use different platform. So look at your most visited page. Look at your most popular category, right? Even if you sell one product, your website have multiple pages. Do they stop at your first page? Do they go to your product details? Do they go down to like checkout and then it suddenly stop, right? There's a lot of factor to it. Why they stop there. Maybe they forget, they don't have their credit card, they're too busy, the checkout process is too complicated. But this will help you to understand where those people are, and if you put in a Facebook pixel, you can also remarket to all these people from each of the specific pages, right? And that helps you. Imagine if me, Pinky, I went to Zalora website, I was browsing all the dress, never buy anything. I put some into add to cart, and I got distracted. Maybe I really want to buy it, but I got distracted, right, with work or something. So if you remarket me at a time that I'm free, I would have more intention to buy it again. So that's why anyone who be into your website and actually browse through are very important people. So how do you remarket to them to make sure that they want to purchase your product, right? So the first step is to identify, right? You know, what are some of those pages they view, how recent they viewed it, you know, where they dropped off, because that will help you to give you an idea. Right? And then that's when you set up remarketing campaign, right? So conversion campaign, if you look at it there, we actually put the name quite outright. You know, 3-day add to cart, exclude purchase. Yeah, what we mean is that someone who add to cart in the last 3 days and haven't purchased yet. Yes? Actually, I have no idea who's, anyone know how I could turn down the music behind? Do you know why is there music? Yeah, I don't know. There one music with the whole workshop. Yeah, it wasn't from me, but thanks for pointing that out. Yeah. Do you know where's the music from? Laptop. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So that's one thing, 3 days. Another one, 7 days add to cart. You exclude what you are targeting in the last 3 days, so you can see what's the conversion. Maybe if you want to try it, maybe all these people need a little bit more push. When you do your creative, maybe you can put free shipping, free 10% off. Yeah, you can see some of the larger e-com does that, right? If you don't buy it, they remarket you with 10% off. They remarket you with free shipping. How do we also include that? And then what did they look at, but they didn't add to cart? You can also try that. That's a very specific product or category itself, right? Example, you look at headwear, didn't buy. You look at footwear, didn't buy. And if you notice, we focus on 3 to 7 days, right? Because if I try to target someone 1 month ago, nobody remember. If I ask you what you eat last month, you clearly won't remember. We don't even remember what we eat yesterday night, right? So always try to target closer, like 3 to 7 days itself, right? And then another one here, a little bit more deeper, add to cart more than average basket size. So what does that mean is that I add to cart $500, I didn't check out. Right? But this shows someone who have very strong intent. How do you capture that and remarket to those people? Facebook can do all of that with your Facebook pixel. You can set up all the event tagging itself, and then you can do all the remarketing on the ads manager. Right? So if you know someone who put a lot of things into the basket, didn't purchase or anything, maybe give them a free gift. Right? Maybe give them some additional push. They just need some additional push itself to just, you know, purchase. And if you know someone is more than your average basket size, that's even more important, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit more about dynamic product ads. Dynamic product ads will be, I'll say it is complicated to set up, but what you can do, it is a very powerful tool, right? So if I can explain a little bit, those of you who have just joined, dynamic product ads basically remarket you the product that you have viewed in the website previously, right? Like Lazada, you were looking at all the handphone charger, we can remarket you that, right? Because Lazada have a Facebook pixel, and then what it does is that capture the customer audience itself, and we reach back to you on Facebook, and it have really high ROI return. What's the first thing? It can scale. If you have any product more than 1,000, actually more than 50, you can already do dynamic product ads. You just need to set it up, right? It is something that we call as always on campaign. You can turn it on once you set it up, and Facebook will run it for you. So for example, like, sir, you visited this website, you go to Facebook, you see the same product if you didn't purchase the product. So that's how it works, right? It's cross-device. We don't just live in one device. Everyone here have 4 to 5 devices, right? Why I say 4, you have 2 phones, 1 desktop, 1 tablet, and maybe another laptop, right? So we want to make sure that we reach you to all through all these different devices. And Facebook ads, dynamic ads can do that. And it's also very highly relevant. We like to see things that we have interested in. I mean, we don't want to show a girl like a skateboard. I'm just making assumption, right? Because we are not interested in skateboard, we are more interested in shoes. How do you show back the similar stuff? This is to make sure that, the ads are more precise so that it helps you to convert better, right? So that is what dynamic ad is, right? So this is a lot of things, but what we have seen with some client, ROI of dynamic ad could go up to 100x more, right? So when you set up a dynamic ad, you need to also understand the average time of purchase, right? Do people buy in 3 days? Do people buy in 7 days or 2 weeks? I would say hardly 2 weeks, because 2 weeks is a very long time, unless you are buying a big ticket item, right? Unless you are buying like electronics, or unless you are buying like travel stuff, then the higher the price, the longer time you take to consider. But if it's something that is, the cheaper it is, the faster you're able to purchase it, right? And also think about all the repurchase from other traffic source, right? Use Facebook, use Google, use any other analytics to help you. Because it's not just one source for everything. Try to find out where is other people coming from, and that also will help you to do better remarketing. Right. So for an example, like you found out 7 days is your average purchase time, right? We would suggest to do things like 3-day view plus add to cart. What is 3 days view? So someone view your product in the last 3 days and have add to cart, right? Very important, people. You don't want to miss them out. Or 7-day view, add to cart, but you have to exclude. Why we have to exclude? So that we don't overlap and waste money. The last thing we want here is you wasting money trying to target the same people. Right? And then the next one is 30 days. If you feel that your product really, there's people who's going to be there for 30 days, who want to buy it later on, feel free to target that. And that will really help you to have once you understand all the key buying time, it really can help you to see where the conversion value is, how much you spend, and that will make it like, okay, I know people convert more on 3 days instead of 7 days. I will put more money there. Right? It helps you to decide where is it. And you can start small. It doesn't need to be a lot of money. Just start with a little bit. And for dynamic product ads, if you are not ready to do that, you don't have that much product, you can just do normal website traffic, right? And you can still tag to your product page and remarket to people self, right? Yeah. So the next one, it's how do you build loyalty? How many of you guys here try to reach out to people who buy from you before? Can I see a show of hand? Only 2? Only 3? So a lot of you guys are missing opportunity, right? Because we always buy from people who we trust or who have purchased before. Yeah, it's not about looking new customer, it's also making sure your current customer or customer who have purchased before to you come back. And that's very important, right? So what we have here, after that, after someone buy from you, how do you make them feel good, right? It's not just about sending them a thank you newsletter. Nobody here want to receive another newsletter of thank you for buying from me or anything, right? I mean, if you show them the ad and give them another 10% discount, that could be a way to attract them. It's not about, nobody really want to open another newsletter. It's sometimes going to junk mail for that whole reason. So use this tool to remarket that, especially if you know all these people who buy from you more. I mean, you can do it in Facebook tracking. You can put all the parameters on it, right? Yeah, so when you think about driving repeat purchase and building loyalty, there's a few things here, right? So I want to talk about this example. There's this brand in in Australia, right? In Australia, their Australian posts are also very accurate. They will deliver by 7 days itself. So this company who sells products, after 7 days, they will actually run an ad to those people who purchased before, because they can track from Facebook Pixel, right? And in the ad itself will be like, hey, thank you for buying for us. If you wear your new clothes, tag us on Instagram. you will get a free shipping of $50, right? I mean, if you have fashion style, that would be like, I'm going to want to put an OOTD on it anyway. And if I have a chance to spend $50 to get $50, why not? Or free shipping, or free stuff, right? So this helps you to encourage. And it's not about putting a post on your page, because none of us really will have spent time to go through each of the brand pages that we follow. But it can be an ad, right? And I was like, I really bought from this brand. They recognize that I bought from them, and they now want to give me more value. That's how you can build loyalty, for an example, right? So show them that you actually care about them. You know, everyone who buys from you is a person, right? It's not just a robot buying something. Call to action to drive more value for your brand or your products itself. You know, it's not just about, oh, thank you for buying, but what is the hook to ask them to come back? Maybe it's to share with their friends. Maybe it's to, you know, try to enter a contest. I try to prevent contests, because Malaysians just love contests and we just want to win something free. But unless the contests have value for you, go for it. Incentivize prizes. It could be small. It could be as small as free shipping. Facebook have run a research. One of the things that Malaysians love the most, one of it is free shipping, right? So it could be something as simple as that. Or test it out, right? Maybe you test free shipping, you test with, you know, a small product, even a keychain or a t-shirt or something like that, right? Additional stuff. Then you can see which one give you more ROI. Maybe some people like free shipping more than $10 off. Do we know? We don't. Everyone is different. Every product is different. So we always suggest on creative testing and target audience testing. How do you target people with different creative and messaging? All right, that's also another way. If you ever have any events or even giveaway, that's a really, really good way to get people excited about it, right? Because at the end of the day, what we want to do is that I love this brand that I bought from. I'll tell my friends, right? That's how we function. If we don't like it, we didn't have good experience, then it's very hard for people to talk about it. So then it helps you to build on the awareness and word of mouth too, when someone have a great experience with the brand, right? So it's a very important part, because it helps you to drive repeat purchase. It helps you to build on your customer value. Not everyone should just come and buy one time, because that's not how consumer behavior is. So think about building loyalty, because they actually really help. You can even start to get some idea from your friends and family, right, when you first start some of the business. Yeah. So this is how we look at a full funnel. Because I only have like 30 minutes, this is just a really quick idea. We actually have Facebook Help Center that actually tell you on like how do you want to build Facebook campaign more. Alternatively, you can also go to Exabytes Digital. Yes, Jarek is there. He runs Exabytes Digital. So, you know, if you guys have any question on Facebook ads, they also have to run Facebook ads. So in case you guys are interested, right? So one key thing, you know, if you forget everything I say, every time you think about running campaign on Facebook for your e-com store, it should reflect how a consumer journey is. And Facebook in the last 5 years have tried very hard to build ad product that could drive value for you. Right, we have a lot of success story too, and case study for small, medium businesses. Sometimes they're small, but they grow to really big, right? So how do you use some of these kind of key things? Yeah, so these are the 5 things, you know, if you forget everything I say today, you just need to remember this 5 things. Start with a brand video. When I say the brand video, nothing fancy. Think about, you know, using your phone. I've seen people shoot it at home. Right? How do you use simple tools that you have right now, your camera and phone? Just shoot a 5-second video, right? Follow up with a remarketing to your website, very important. Someone watch your video, have interest, get them to your website. Or try with someone who didn't watch the video, also maybe they have interest to go to your website. So try out all these things. If you have different category pages, try to drive them to different category pages. Maybe I have known some e-com who try like 3 different landing pages. One straight away to product, one is like about their sales, another one is about free shipping. Then you know, right? If you can build all these 3 different landing pages. If you have products more than 50 to 100 products to 1,000 products, you can set up dynamic product ads itself. That is our product service that you could tick on all your 1,000 products and try to show to the consumer. And last thing, don't forget about loyalty building, right? That is the one most important thing. That a lot of time I think e-com kind of forgotten to do it, because there's so many choices out there, right? They could choose option A, option B. So make sure that they always choose you, right? So that's all I have today. Yes, I'm on time because I start 5 minutes early. right? Yeah, so I'll be around. I think there's another session later, but that one is more high level on what are the key trends that Facebook see and some suggestion on creative itself, right? But thank you so much for having me here. Again, like I said, there's the Exabyte Digital there. They're really good with running Facebook ads, so they can also help you with it. Thank you.